not alone. I'm with
King.
And of course, we'll be looking at something we've looked at in 2023. Some of the things we're just bringing them back, especially as we're yet to settle in this new year. And souvenirs last longer than marriages. This is not a question because we've asked a lot of people and they say, yes, souvenirs last longer than marriages. And almost everybody is a witness to this. So why is this happening? That's what we'll be looking at. So when you want to contribute, you can call 08084 275464. That's 08084 275464. When you want to call the show, or you can actually, join us on the live stream on Facebook. That's Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM Marketing on Facebook. So like our page, follow our page so that you stay up to speed with the latest development. And we stream every live program here. So yeah, So when you're on Facebook, you get notification as soon as we start to stream and you wouldn't miss a thing. It's Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM Makudi. And of course, we're looking at souvenirs lasting longer than marriages. Alamashagodobe team is also out to ask people what they think and what they've experienced as souvenirs lasting longer than marriages. So stay tuned here. It's Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM.
We do it naturally, and you love it. We are Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. Catch us if you can.
So we're assuming that everyone knows souvenirs, those gift items that they give you at weddings. For instance, they give you a plastic bucket or some sort of bowl or even a hand fan with a sticker on it. You're still using it and the marriage itself is broken. But you're still using a notebook. I mean, I've got a lot of them in the house. At least I remember 3. And I still see, those guys involved in those marriages. The marriages are all gone, but I'm still using, the book. So the other day, you were hiding a notebook that was given to us as a souvenir. The marriage is broken, so you didn't even want the groom, to see that you are still using it when the marriage is gone. Why were you afraid or ashamed?
Well, it just hit me when I saw him immediately and looked at the book. I didn't want to bring back memories to him.
You think he has forgotten that he was once married?
At times, I don't know. Maybe that's, to me, my assumption. I was thinking maybe he had gone past that stage. But seeing the book might bring back memories to him. So I quickly, put the book inside my bag so that he wouldn't see it.
Well, so do you have any souvenir that the marriage is no longer there? That's what we want to hear from you. So call us on 08084 275464. That's 08084 275464. Do you have a souvenir that the marriage is broken?
Okay, so do you have any souvenir that is still there while the wedding itself is over?
Yes, I have a souvenir that is a bucket. And it was a friend's wedding. The wedding didn't even take long, up to 9 months. They separated ways.
Okay, so why are souvenirs lasting longer than marriages?
I feel like maybe it's misunderstanding between the two parties, I guess.
All right, so she has a bucket and the marriage itself lasted 9 months, she said.
I think, 9 months.
So if the woman was pregnant, she would have gone home with a baby.
Yeah.
At least that's an away match. I mean, that's 1-0. Yeah. Okay, so the reason she is giving is misunderstanding. Yeah. What is this thing about misunderstanding in marriages? Why does everyone emphasize misunderstanding?
Most of the times you go into a marriage without, your expectation is not what you get at times. During courtship, you guys are all loving together, all playful. Even when you hurt yourself, you tend to forgive one another. But in marriage, it's not that easy. I don't know why, but it's not that easy. But I think the first 2 years of every marriage is very tough. But once you guys can go past that stage, I think you guys can still.
I don't agree with you. Not every marriage at the first 2 years is always tough. I don't agree. And unfortunately, most of these expectations you're talking about are from the woman. I'm not saying this because I'm a man, but when women come into marriage, they want to be free. They're thinking that it's a partnership. So I'm not in my father's house, so I should do everything. They forget that the man actually, goes to pay for their head. It's not even the money, but even if it is the money, hard-earned money, then you marry, and then you bring the woman is answering your name, and they want to do certain things. So the man has a lot of things to protect. Sometimes from his old girlfriends that are there waiting to devour you if they see you outside and all of that, but he wouldn't tell you that. All he wants is don't just go out, and you are thinking you are being caged.
If the man,
So it happens.
The man knows that he didn't hurt his past girlfriends, I don't really see
Most women feel hurt, even when they themselves work out of the marriages, and you know the truth. So it's not even about the man hurting them. It's a woman thing. If you're a woman, call now 08084275464. If you think I'm hard on the women, call now and defend yourself. Yes, but that's reality.
I don't think so. You are just trying to support the.
I'm not trying to. This is what I have seen. Even the women, if they call and they are sincere, let them say it.
Yes, please, ladies, call and defend yourselves.
It's the women that expect too much in marriages, and it doesn't happen.
But these are two different people coming together in a house. So I think there should be understanding. At times you see a man that would comb his hair and throw the hair everywhere. You expect a woman to come back and come and sweep it. It's not that easy. So she expects you to...
Are you referring to me?
I'm not referring to you.
If you're referring to me, you can go ahead and do that.
I'm not referring to you.
Okay, for instance, I comb my hair and it's all over the place, and I have to come and do a job to feed the family. So I shouldn't be packing hair at home, actually.
It's not that. Just imagine cleaning the room. And you're cleaning the room while you're tired.
Yeah.
And next thing... the husband walks in and just combs his hair.
The next thing, King James, say King James.
And combs his hair and the hair is everywhere. And you pass and look at it and you're like, does this man have conscience at all?
But that's supposed to be a woman's job. I mean, you're supposed to clean. It's a normal thing.
Okay, so basically you married the woman for her.
When your mom, listen to me, when your mom is training you, they train you for all those things, how to keep your house clean.
But at dating a girl, you will not comb your hair and litter everywhere. You will want to prove.
Not King James. Not King James.
I'm not saying you. Why are you putting yourself in this?
Because you are my wife. You are my wife, and you are saying this.
There are so many men with hair out there.
But you don't stay with them.
I'm not saying you. I'm just giving an example.
You are married only to me, so the example is just about me. And exactly, so that's it. 08084275464. That's 08084275464. Maybe we need to change this program and call it husband and wife fight. Okay, so you can call now. We are asking people, asking you actually, why souvenirs are lasting longer than marriages. And people are actually giving those reasons. I believe it's the women's fault.
Yes, actually. I still have a souvenir of a friend who got married sometime last year, and the wedding didn't even get to 6 months, and they separated ways. So I have the souvenir of the wedding, and I'm still using. I store my panties.
Wow. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, King James.
Morning. How are you today? Happy New Year.
Very well, beautiful.
Yeah. Okay,
My name is Ken Ati.
Okay, Ken Ati, good morning.
I'm calling from Welfare Quarter.
Right. You're welcome.
I just want to say, King James, you are right.
Yes.
No argument. And this is not a men's convention.
Yeah.
This is not a men's groupie hug conversation. No.
Oh, yeah.
Fact of the matter.
Mm-hmm.
It rests its head in our homes, but we manage it very well. We interact with our fellow colleagues who have same challenges.
Mm-hmm.
But be that as it may, we surmount them step by step and move on with the bigger picture in mind.
Mm-hmm.
And for us, women don't expect men to be emotional. They don't expect men to cry. There are certain expectations that men are supposed to have. So you just swallow it and on to the next. Otherwise, if you respond word for word to all that comes to you, no woman may have a man. Very few women will have men.
Yeah.
Maybe the mommy Z baby type. Otherwise, it is Doga. I hear the ladies chuckling,
Yeah.
but this is our reality. And
Exactly.
sometimes it's possible, it's necessary for women to open the mind of their husband to
Mm-hmm.
see what is inside, the challenges they go through, the things they swallow that give them high blood pressure, how they toil and sweat to make ends meet.
Yeah.
Then you understand that truly masculinity is a big deal.
Yeah.
Even this is not a competition though, but
Mm-hmm.
then honestly, James, you are right.
Yes, I am, and that's why I'm telling my wife. If I come here and pour that, she should clean it. It's natural.
Absolutely. She was brought up that way. My son is playing football outside
Yeah.
while my daughter is in the kitchen trying
Mm-hmm.
to help the mother wash plates or do this, do that.
Exactly. That's how it should be. All right. So thank you, Ken Kennedy, for calling.
My pleasure.
You're welcome. All right. So maybe she let the ladies call, and in fact,
The ladies, you guys, you have to call.
but they're not even supporting you. Because I think Regina Biame on Facebook says a woman is a helpmate to her husband. Which I think is you she's referring to. Whether you actually understand this.
Or not.
Yeah, whether you understand this.
I'm not saying you have to, sweet, but as in I feel like you should understand
Understand
that,
what?
okay, this lady just did this right now. I shouldn't just mess it up in a hurry. That's what I'm trying to say.
See, these things come natural. You know that for me, I must comb my hair.
I know.
I do all those things. So, just as Ken said, let's say your husband is a banker, whatever job, they're coming home tired. It's just natural for them to throw their stockings anyhow. Yes, you don't expect them to begin to.
That's different. Why are you even making this thing about us?
It's about us because you are my wife and you refer to hair and everybody knows I have hair. So even if you go there right now.
You are the one changing the whole topic now.
Okay, I am not. It's one of the reasons why marriages break. So we are saying, why is it that the souvenirs are lasting longer than marriages? And of course, you brought it up that a lot of things that you think ladies don't, they can't bottle up. So,
But I have been bottling up for years.
exactly.
I didn't say anything.
You have so many more years. You have so many more years. This hair is here. So if it's about the hair, I'm going to actually
I
throw
wasn't
it around.
referring to you, King. I wasn't.
But you're my wife,
I
so if you
wasn't
say that.
referring to you.
Okay, so we're going to have a program maybe on a Saturday, husband and wife fight. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Okay, a lady tried to defend you, but they didn't. Perhaps they're not even on your side. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm Jennifer Moses calling from Fishy.
Right, but what's that sounding like an alarm? Is that your car?
Yes.
I think you need to move away. If you're in the car, turn off the ignition and remove the key, and then you're gone.
All right.
Yeah.
All right,
So are you supporting my wife? Why
Yeah.
why are souvenirs lasting longer than marriages? You're laughing.
Well, to me, souvenirs are lasting more than marriages now, basically based on misunderstanding from the couple. Because to me, it's a very simple thing. Because the expectation we go into marriage these days is, I don't know, when you are dating, you see something different than in marriage. I don't know where men get this, whether now we have gotten somebody to take the whole responsibility and stuff like that. Then the ladies, the expectations they come with is different. So when there is no compatibility in the understanding, that's where the problem comes. Because, okay, as a guy, when you're dating, maybe you go to your guy's house, it's always arranged, everything is in order. We are now married. It's something different. Like the whole place is scattered, is messed up. It was like this is not what I was expecting. This is not what I wasn't seeing. So what is it like this? And when you now start to maybe react, you're like, it wasn't like this. So why is it like this? They're not trying to tell you that, it's your duty. Yes, it's your duty of a lady to take care of the husband and the home, yes, but then the man to have something to do. It's not that now that you're married, you now have to scatter everywhere. At least
I
You,
see.
yeah, you have the busy schedule, yes, but there are little things you do to
I
the
see.
lady that will appreciate.
Little things like bringing
Yes,
the money.
yes, that
Mm.
one is paramount. They will do of it for. then, then
I
at
see.
least there are little things that there are simple little things that we ladies appreciate. Your wife should testify to this. There are very little things that we appreciate.
Yeah.
Like you can't come in when the whole house is arranged, then you start throwing things around because you're the husband and the wife. No, it's not done that way.
All right.
Then this issue of understanding. To me, and we the ladies, there's this thing I'm not understanding because if you ask, say you will not understand. At least some of us are being very.
All right. So something is definitely wrong with your line, I think. But she has made her point. Obviously, she's supporting you. So our topic is, why do souvenirs last longer than marriages?
Yes.
So a lot of people, including you, and they're saying it's misunderstanding.
Yes.
And so she's saying the same thing you are saying.
And she's talked about expectation.
Yeah. So, but expectation, as I said, even from what she has said, is coming from women.
It's from both sides.
No, from what
Let
she
me-
from
let-
what
let
she
me-
has said so far, nobody has mentioned the man expecting. We have someone. Don't worry. Hello. Good morning.
Yeah, hello, King James Yiye.
Good morning.
This is Edward Oragba. It's been long.
Yeah. Happy New
I don't
Year,
have a problem.
Edward.
Happy New Year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see, this issue is a very delicate one, and it's for some of us who are married and have been in the industry for over years now, there are things that when you want to talk about them, you are very skeptical. You wouldn't want to just come out clearly that this is it, this is that, because most people that know you and know about your marriage, we want to say, how about your own? Why is that why your own marriage is like that, or what is it? You know. So it's a very delicate one. Actually, I had wanted to just listen to contributions from people and then also maybe learn from me, from my own end in my marriage. But I just felt that let me just chip in something.
Yeah.
You see, marriages are not lasting longer these days because men have a fault, they have a blame, and the ladies predominantly carry the more blame. Because there is this issue of this woman emancipation. You know, that woman emancipation is, I think, to me, it was because of political, relevance, and maybe they are emancipating in order to win elections and get positions in government that were more or less looked as a main thing
Yeah.
before now. But most women want to carry that into marriages,
Yeah.
which is not actually true, because a husband is not a title. Being a wife is also not a title. It's something that nature, God has predestined and has put that in place right from creation. When he saw that man was alone and it was not good for him to be alone, he made for him a wife, removed a rib and fashioned a woman and brought to him. There was a kind of joy that was the man expressed when a woman was brought before him. Also, nowadays, in those days that some of us were little children, there were no marriages, no marriage seminars, there were no courses on marriages or no counseling on marriages, but marriages were well founded, and the people, the children that were brought up out of these marriages grew up to be very responsible people. I want to believe you are one of them. I am also one of them. Let me give that credit to myself. But nowadays, most of these our young ladies, their number one this thing is that my mother-in-law, even when the mother-in-law has not done anything wrong to them, but they will just be looking at the mother-in-law as a threat.
Yeah.
And So when you are unlucky and you have a naggy woman, a wife that does feels that I will not take shit, then you are in soup, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
So personally, I pray that young ladies who want coming into marriage should try as much as possible to desist from some of this perceived, how do I put it, sir? Perceived, things that they just imagine their friends talk about. The friends talk about, and then they feel every home should be like will be like that and like that. No, they should just run away from such.
Right.
Your wife should pardon me. It's not as if I am trying to heap all the blames on the women, but we the men too have our own shortcomings. So, but because I'm a man, I would not know. Because the team I would say, oh, hey, John fake quicker.
Yeah.
But it's the other person that sees it. So I may not be seeing my own fault, but all this I have talked about, I'm sure you must have seen situations like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Within your neighborhood, and you agree with me.
All right, thank you,
thank you very much for bringing the topic, and I'm going to listen more.
All right,
so that I will learn from others who will participate in as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so the 4-letter word, sometimes when callers want to express themselves, they can use that, but
yes.
That's not our stand. Someone else is calling. The line, by the way, is having issues. It looks like. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, hello, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Happy New Year to you and your darling wife.
Thank you.
This is Devan calling from Honors of Fire.
Hi, Devan. How are you?
I'm fine, sir.
Right. So souvenirs lasting longer than marriages. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I can actually see an umbrella here that was given to us on the wedding my uncle actually attended. But the marriage is no more. It couldn't last for 2 years.
Wow. And
they were all separated. But the good thing about it is we are still using their souvenir. The umbrella is very useful. And the only thing I can say about that is maybe, just maybe, couples are no longer allowing themselves to communicate with each other. Like, they're not giving time to themselves. They fail to communicate. I mean, in marriage, the only thing that should work, that is for me, is communication. And when you communicate, you get to understand and know what is going on in your partner's mind. And him too, he will get to know what is going on in your mind. So, like your wife was saying, if you must comb your hair in the room and she doesn't like it, she should tell you, you should comb your hair outside, shouldn't you? And then, then everything will be, even if you don't want, she asks you in a pleasant manner, you should comb your hair outside, shouldn't you? You wouldn't want to say no because you don't want to hurt her feelings.
No, she should be sweeping.
Yeah, she does. I know that she does.
There's a vacuum cleaner. There's a vacuum cleaner.
All right, then.
Thank you
so much.
I actually enjoyed this program. Yeah.
Thank you, Devan. Yeah. So, Devan, they also have an umbrella that they're using. So, every home, if we want to be realistic, every home has a souvenir.
Exactly.
And the marriage is broken.
And those souvenirs are useful. You can't just trash them away because the couples are no more
But you were
together.
hiding the notepad.
Yeah, hiding it, but it's not that I'm going to trash it away. I'm going to still use it. But I didn't want to bring back memories to the groom, the ex-groom.
But I'm asking you, what makes you think he has forgotten about the marriage?
Well, he might have forgotten, but him seeing the picture of him and his ex-wife might bring back memories. So that was just the reason why I was protecting that.
I see.
Yes.
So why are marriages lasting shorter? Why are souvenirs lasting longer than marriages? So every home, they have a souvenir. It's very common in this part of the world. You go, people even fight for the souvenirs.
They do. They do.
They
fight for it.
Even Paka inamga. So people fight, and the groom and the bride are feeling like, oh yeah, we've got some stuff here that people are fighting for.
But they don't know there's a whole lot of work ahead of them.
Exactly. The guys are enjoying their hand fan, their Devon are enjoying the umbrella.
The umbrella.
The other lady says she soaks her panties.
The bucket or the laundry basket.
Oh no. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you, King James.
Yeah. So what's the name are you calling from?
Yeah, my name is Woody Baptism with Bernard.
Woody Baptism with Bernard. All right.
Yes.
So calling from
I'm fine,
Lagos.
thank you.
Is it raining in Lagos?
No, it rained 2 days ago.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So why are souvenirs lasting longer than marriages? Do you have any that the wedding is no longer there?
Sorry?
Do you have any souvenir that the marriage is broken?
No. I don't have any souvenir that might be broken.
Okay. So why are souvenirs lasting longer than marriages?
Let me say that one of the reasons why those things are happening is because there are some people who are rushing into marriage. It is very important that you should understand who you are going to get married to before you go and start marriage. But if you don't understand someone, then rush into marriage, definitely you're going to rush out. That's number one. Number two, I appreciate the other lady that called and said communication is very, very important. When you fail to communicate frequently, definitely that marriage will not last. So I would advise that couples to create time for themselves to communicate, ask questions, and know what is going on. And most importantly, know who you want to marry. If you don't know who you want to marry, that marriage will not last.
Right. Thank you, Woody Baptism with Bernard, for calling and contributing.
You're welcome.
All right. So quarreling is communication, don't you think so?
I don't think quarreling is communication because everybody we are on the same volume. We are being loud, so we can't understand.
So you
what
think
we
you
are.
don't understand when the woman is insulting the man? That it goes everywhere on social media. You think the man is deaf? When they I've heard when women insult the man and insult the man's parents and everybody around them, and you think the men are deaf not to hear that. That is
it only the women, but men too?
I've never seen it on social media. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good
morning, my brother. How are you? Happy New Year.
Same here.
Yes. Okay. I am Engineer Sunday Akpa, calling from Dobak, Makodi.
Engineer Sunday Akpa, good morning.
It has been a while.
Yes, it has. Your marriage is nearly 40 years, so...
Yeah, 38 years this year. You still remember?
Yes, I do.
Yes, your memory is sharp.
Yeah. So do you have a souvenir that the marriage itself is broken?
See, not everyone having a souvenir, but there are many broken marriages around. And I think the reason, there are many. The reasons are many. In the first place, the Bible says in the book of Genesis that so shall a man leave his father and mother, and then they come to his wife, they'll become one. So, first of all, marriage is for men, not for boys. You have to be matured in terms of everything.
Yeah.
Then number two, because of the trend these days, people go into marriage with the feeling that it's a trial marriage. They don't even believe that it's going to be a long-lasting marriage. One woman in my village, when the daughter was giving her daughter hand married to a man, she gave somebody to the daughter, say, keep this body in case there's problem so that I can come home. Is that marriage supposed to last? Of course, the marriage failed.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. So people go, marriage in the first place, people are passionate about marriage, even in the church. You can say men wedding men, women wedding women, people wedding animals. So they have just bastardized the issue of marriage.
Mm-hmm.
But if you actually enter into marriage and you know that it's going to last, the blueprint is there. The book of Ephesians chapter 5, read from verse 22 to 59. The blueprint is there. If you obey them, your marriage will last. It says the wife should be totally submissive to the husband in terms of everything. And the husband should love their wife as Christ loved the church.
Exactly.
You know, Christ died for the church, even while we're still his sinners.
Mm-hmm.
And these two conditions are mutually exclusive.
Yeah.
One is not a sine to the other one. You don't say, because my husband doesn't love me, I'll not be submissive. Or say, because my wife is not submissive, I'll not love her. No. Do your own part. Do your own part. And they know that you stay together well and raise your children. And that's how it is. So, but these days that people are talking of women emancipation, Beijing, coffee, and the rest, girls are no longer ready to be submissive. But in the first place, marriage is not by force, it's optional. If you want to go into marriage, then be ready to comply with the rules and tenets of marriage.
Mm-hmm.
If you are not ready to marry, go and stay single.
Mm-hmm.
So once you decide to marry, learn to be submissive to your husband, and the husband should learn to love their wife to a fault.
Exactly.
And when you do that, I bet you there will be no broken homes.
Mm.
Like I told you before, and you remember very well.
Yeah.
38 years in
38
marriage. now.
years.
That's
yeah.
the secret to his
I
marriage.
married my wife after her secondary school.
Mm-hmm.
She was 18. I was in my 20s. In 1986, in my house. And she has her PhD now in my house.
Yeah.
And we have children. Our children. My first one is a medical doctor. My second one is an engineer. It's a very blissful marriage. So patience, complications, and actually decision that, yes, I'm into a marriage and the marriage will last. Not that you enter into a marriage and say it's a trial marriage. If you don't blend, I will quit. You know, I've been sure you have said that your marriage will fail.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Engineer Sunday Akpa. So they should be submissive. You should be sweeping my hair.
Yeah, and you should also love me.
But of course, you know,
You should no, just like what Mr. Edwards say, you cannot do this thing. You can't testify for yourself. Someone will have to tell you.
Okay, so I'm doing badly.
I'm not saying that. I'm not. Why are you even making this all about you? It's not about you. You're just making everything all about you. But what people are actually saying is understanding communication is success to marriage. Once you have all of this, I think marriages would not be breaking.
You know, so what I'm saying is even quarreling is communication. So if you just say communication, then people communicate anyway.
So how does that relate quarreling?
It's communication. So if you just say communication, people actually communicate. Because if you hear your neighbor, they're always shouting at each other. That's communication.
Okay, I believe you.
But at the end, sometimes I think the couples that quarrel a lot, sometimes are even the best friends. They quarrel and you carry it on your head.
And you see them tomorrow. They
Exactly,
are all
they
loving
never
and
break.
everything. Yeah.
It's extra speed on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM Makudi. Why are souvenirs lasting longer than marriages? That's our focus on the show. We've got just about 18 minutes to the end of the show, so you can call us now. That's 08084 275464 08084 275464. Now, for people who have stayed in marriages like Engineer Sunday Akba, and Edward Soraba, you know, they are saying things, but everybody actually believes, including Engineer Sunday Akba, whose marriage will be 38 years this year. This Beijing conference, actually, that was what Oraba was saying, emancipation of women.
Yes.
He looks at it that it should be for political reasons, not for domestic home affairs. So if you want to emancipate men in the political world, your husband is not a political title.
Yes.
That's what he's saying. So if you want to be a chairman of a local government and you can boss the other men around, when you come home,
You have to be a wife.
exactly, you have to be a wife. So that's the difference. So, you know, most governors or presidents who had wives, the women were still cooking
Yes, they were
at some point. Yeah, you need to cook at some point, even if you have, you know,
domestic.
yeah, so you have to do certain things. So that is what defines. But of course, some women don't see it that way, especially Facebook women.
Say Facebook women. Let's say this new generation as ladies, our expectations are much.
You know why I say Facebook women?
Tell me.
The reason is because the Facebook women, the feminists on Facebook, are influencing even the old generation.
Okay.
You know, so that is why you see women old enough to be our mothers are now
Yes.
feeling that they were
They were
cheated.
cheated.
Exactly.
It's true.
So they want to slay. So
And some of them are having issues now in their
The
marriages,
marriages,
that are
exactly.
like 48 years.
or 50 years,
Yes,
yes.
they're having issues and telling their husband how they cheated them when they were younger. They would have done this, they would have achieved this, but because of them, they were just at home being wives and cooking
So-
and giving birth to children.
And always my answer to that is you have actually raised children and they're taking care of you. So why do you even want to regret that perhaps you were supposed to have been an accountant or a nurse or medical doctor if this man didn't come to marry you when you were 15?
So it's just the pain, it's just the regrets of the woman.
Anyway, for them, their marriages actually last longer than souvenirs if they had those souvenirs. You know, so one of my grand aunties was just giving me a brief history of my grandfather. That's my maternal grandfather. She was telling me that it was only my grandmother that my grandfather married in church, according to her,
Okay.
had other wives too. And, you know, she told me a lot of things. But of course, the other women ended up in my grandfather's house. But my grandmother, that was married in church, ended up in another man's house. So she had 5 children there and then 5. So 10 altogether. She's still alive. That's the only grandparent I have alive. Anyway, that's a topic for another day. So why are souvenirs lasting longer than marriages? You can call us now 08084 275464. That's 08084 275464. I am King James Yiye and
Memshima King.
so initially we were supposed to hide on air that you're not my wife, right?
Yes, you're the one that blew everything.
Because somebody called and said you were my daughter. So how could I have claimed that you were my daughter when you are my wife?
Who would have ignored that part?
I know. You need to answer people. Okay, so she's my wife, and we're going to bring a show. It will be a husband and wife show. So
I hope you would allow me to express myself.
yes, tell
because
people.
you
if we're doing that show, tell people exactly what I do at home that you don't like. Just say it. Just tell everybody. I will not say about you, but you are free to. I'll protect you, but you can tell people how I comb my hair and scatter everywhere. No problem.
You just made this thing all about you. Seriously, you made it all about you, and it wasn't all about you.
No, but you can tell people you are allowed. No problem. Tell them how I scatter shoes everywhere. Tell them how I have shoes like a millipede and all of that. Okay, so we're asking people why souvenirs are lasting longer than marriages.
Why are souvenirs lasting longer than marriages?
Oh my goodness. I think the major problem in marriages is communication, lack of communication. Couples don't sit to talk on issues affecting the relationships. They involve third party in most of the things. And I think bad company, I think that is not even the major thing. The major thing in this whole stuff is lack of communication. That is just it. Okay, based on my own experience, it's kind of a tragedy stuff. It's not really funny. Yeah. On the souvenir part, I still have my other things.
Okay. Do you have any wedding souvenirs that is still there while the wedding is over?
Yeah, I have a lot of souvenirs. The things they got for me during my traditional marriage. I have a lot of things. I have a baby that is even 7 months. It's part of the wedding stuff, just that the marriage is broken. That's just it.
Okay, so you say she is holding a baby. You could hear a baby, right?
Yes.
So as at the time the baby was 7 months, and her own marriage is broken.
Yes.
Wow. So the baby is a souvenir.
It's a souvenir too. Yeah, the baby is a souvenir too. But just as just as I was saying, marriages, people just go into marriages not to work for the marriage to succeed.
Hold on, we have hello.
Morning, gents.
Morning.
Regina here.
Right, Regina, good morning.
Morning.
It's still cold. I can feel from your voice.
It's really cold. It's always cold.
Biting winter. Okay. All right. So, yeah, you contributed on Facebook, but now that you've called, why do you think this is happening?
I mean, this generation, women are not ready to submit to the husband. I know green and the tear cloth. Like the lady said, if a husband comb his hair and refuses to tidy up. I mean, if your husband comb his hair and you are in the right position to tidy up. Stuff like that bring misunderstanding. And when everyone keeps saying about communication, my communication might not be your communication, but we learn from each other. But sometimes it's hard for we women to learn from men. Oh, are you trying to tell me what to do? Women are trying to be men in this generation. So marriages are failing compared to my grandparents' generation. So I think marriages are damaging these days because of an agree. And that's how it is. And that's how, I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Right. So, yeah, thank you, Regina. Is there anything that can be done to change this?
I mean, we have to go back and trace our roots, our grandparents' behavior and how they used to manage things. Like, imagine my own mother would go to farm with me and my siblings, would come back, go to the stream, fish water, come back, cook, give my dad to eat, go there, pick up the plates. And no one is ready to do that. And then these days that we have right to work, everyone is like, oh, I have to go to work. I got no time bringing maids into the house to do the chores that women should do. So, I mean, we have to go back to our roots and get things done the right way. Otherwise, it's not going to go nowhere. And people looking up to, oh, Mr. A does this in his house. It has to be done in my house. So, I mean, if we don't go back, I think we're not going to go nowhere.
Right, Regina. Thank you for calling and contributing.
Thank you. Bye.
You're welcome. Yeah. Okay. So, Regina is in England, but she is probably not thinking the way they would think, or the way people assume that Oyibo thinks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because, well, let's not compare the English and Americans. Let's just leave it at that. But it's about humanity. So what she's saying is that let's go back and look at what our grandparents did. But again,
so what did our grandparents do differently? For me, if you ask me, you're talking about this generation. We cut a long time. Most people will cut for 5 years, some 3. So during your courtship, what you and the guy you are getting is not what you guys will get in marriage, because marriage is totally different. In courtship, the guy might be with you in the kitchen, or he might follow you to go and make your hair.
Or buy shawarma.
Exactly, buy you shawarma, buy you ice cream, give you all the loving promises and everything. Mm-hmm. But when you guys get married, you don't expect that man to come to the kitchen.
He needs
and
to
be
already
with you.
Begin to
exactly.
save.
So now you're like, this was not who you were. Where is all this behavior coming from? Why have you changed and all of this? So during my own father, during his own time, it was even his uncle that saw my mother and told him that he has seen a girl that he likes and he wants him to marry. So for my mom going to my dad, she knew as a woman, I am supposed to serve this man. But it's not the same. This generation, the guys go out there to see the woman, or the girl would even be the one to come and tell their parents that, Daddy, I've seen a guy that I want to get married to. So things are different now.
And that means nothing can change.
Nothing can be done. Nothing can change at all.
No, but it's possible. We can't lose hope. It's possible that things can change because, unfortunately, the whole thing is mixed up because some people still believe the time of courtship is too short. It was short and it worked for...
It worked. Yeah. Because, yes, a woman is having that mentality going into the house that I am meant to serve this man no matter what. But now... John that was helping you or taking you to buy ice cream and shawarma is not doing that you guys are now married.
It becomes
John
a big fight.
Exactly.
Like, John,
So
you've changed.
Exactly. John, when last did you take me out to get shawarma? John, when last did you do this for me? John, when last did you do that?
Is John supposed... Okay, by the way, if
Sorry,
your name
John.
is John, if your name is John. But the thing is, if this guy... A lot of things have changed.
Mm-hmm.
So most girls... At least we know so many that marry pregnant.
Yes.
Now, this guy is already thinking of the next few months. Because if you're married today, the next 5 or 4 months, millennium babies are produced. It's like they don't last 9 months.
They don't.
Yeah. So you marry today, 4 months later, a child is there. So this guy is the same woman that is going to say creche.
Yes.
So John is already calculating
how the baby is going to start creche.
Before creche, what about hospital bills?
Hospital bills.
Diapers alone.
Yes.
So how much did we buy diaper last for big man?
I think it was at 3,000.
No.
4?
It was 5,000 plus.
Oh, really? I can't remember.
Yeah, the diapers were 5,000 plus.
You're the one bringing the money, so you would remember.
So, but big man is 3 years.
Yes, going to 4.
Going to 4 in May this year. So you can imagine how many years ago he stopped using diapers. Yes. But that was the cost. And nothing goes down. Prices don't go down in this country. They only go up. So even if it was in the past, this man is thinking how you are going to have a baby and what is going to spend. You know, nowadays...
It still boils down to understanding.
But what we are saying here is that understanding is hardly ever going to come from the woman. They know that it's what is supposed to be done. Because they are the same ones that have seen a change in the man that is no longer taking them for ice cream. I'm explaining why the man wouldn't buy ice cream at this point.
But she wouldn't understand.
So how do you...
So communication now comes in.
Oh, you expect the husband to sit you down?
You just have to...
You are not a child. No, if you are married... You know, Engineer Sunday Akbat said... Marriage is not for boys. It shouldn't be for girls.
You also have to be patient too in marriage.
But
he said that.
It shouldn't be for girls as well.
But as a man, you will not just get angry and expect her to understand. If she doesn't, you just have to be patient and explain to her and communicate to her that, look, things are not like how it used to be when we were dating.
We should be marrying babies then, not wives. If you are a wife and you're mature enough to marry...
Our mothers were 16, 15, but they understood.
Exactly. So
because their mothers were training them in that way, and they were seeing what their mothers were doing by serving their fathers. But it's not the same thing now. This our generation, if like, for example, even our children, they are going to school, and even our daughter that is even a teenager, when I'm doing something and she sees you, either you are outside relaxing, and it's more like, why isn't daddy coming to help you? Why is daddy not helping you out with the children during school runs? And I'm telling her that no, it's not like that. Daddy has a whole lot in his head to think about, feeding the family and so on and so forth.
And doing
but
radio.
she is not thinking that. So even their own generation would even get worse than ours.
Well, we hope things get better, because the way it's going, Souvenirs will keep lasting longer.
I don't even think they would even get married during that time. They'll just do boyfriend and girlfriend and just produce children. And
all right, so it's time to go. So, say bye and let's go.
Thanks to all the ladies who called. Their contribution were valid and I appreciate, and I expect you guys to call more.
They didn't support you anyway.
It doesn't matter, but at least hearing the ladies' voices.
All right, this is King James. See you tomorrow on Extra Speed.
Yes, I have a wedding souvenir, rubber precisely, from a friend's wedding. The wedding is actually over. Like, the thing, we thought it was, in fact, I don't even know what to say. The whole thing just started.
Okay, so why are souvenirs lasting longer than marriages?
I think a lot of issues. For me, I think lack of proper communication. Like this, my friends, where I'm talking about, I think communication and understanding. There was no understanding. There was no communication, as in proper communication. I think the lady wanted what she wanted, and the guy couldn't provide. And then family interference, and then they were even calling spiritual issues inside self. So the whole thing was just, we actually didn't know where to point at. Like this one, the wedding didn't even, it was just 7 to 9 months. In fact, the whole thing just started and it just ended like that. The lady just packed her things and left the house. In fact, all the stories the man and the lady were saying, in fact, they didn't just rhyme. For me, when she spoke with me, like I tried talking to her so many times, as in give us a reason, what's going on. All what she said didn't hold water for me. As in, I didn't see any reason. I didn't get anything to point at precisely, because she will call on serious. In fact, all the things she was saying didn't have, because I understand that there were things she could, if there was proper communication, they could work on together. But I thought she was complaining the man wasn't supportive enough. Next thing, she was talking about family. She was talking about family interference, like lack of support from the husband, as in backing her up when the family were fighting her. Then it got to the financial aspect again. So, in fact, all the things she was saying, I didn't really get what her problem was. But the marriage ended.
As King Radio 98.5 Speed FM. Catch us if you can.
She higo kahu atankro ngi pepe. Nemba ngwa na vesisha asking radio TV. Ma kamo wa wene otwe hwandi. Zane hemeno ngwa asking radio. Mso ne kiki.
As King Radio 98.5 Speed FM. Catch us if you can.
Asking Radio News on the mobile app, on smart speaker, online at askingradio.com, and on radio on 98.5 Speed FM. It's now time for Asking Radio News.
From Asking Radio News at the Spice Center in Makurdi, I am King James YiYE. Nigeria's Vice President, Senator Kashim Shettima, says the federal government plans to provide 75 billion naira worth of credit facilities to empower small-scale businesses in Benue. This comes as the Vice President performs the flag-off of the first expanded National Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises Clinic and Exhibition in Makurdi. Vice President Shettima says the federal government also plans to establish a world-class textile industry in Benue to harness the rich tailoring opportunities in the state. Asking Radio correspondent Jennifer Ikbila quotes Senator Kashim Shettima as saying this will effectively transform the economic fortunes of the state. The theme for the MSME's exhibition and clinic is Benue is open for business. Benue State Governor Reverend Father Dr. Hyacinth Yomem Alia says his government is committed to ensuring a fair playing ground for every business. The governor, speaking at the flag-off of the first expanded National Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises Clinic and Exhibition in Makurdi, says his government is actively working and improving the ease of doing business in Benue. Reverend Father Alia says his government is streamlining business processes and removing unnecessary barriers and bottlenecks.
We have a law now that prohibits what is known as matching ground, a form of extortion from businesses and individuals interested in establishing business in Benue. More so, our security apparatus in the state has been placed on high alert to clamp down on any group or individuals who indulge in illegal tax collection, especially through roadblocks and any other forms. This demonstrates our commitment and determination to create a conducive environment for investment and socio-economic growth in the state.
Asking Radio correspondent Jennifer Ikbila quotes Reverend Father Alia as saying, the revival of the BIPC Microfinance Bank is also a significant step towards providing financial support to aspiring entrepreneurs and small-scale businesses. You're listening to Asking Radio News from the Spice Center in Makudi, and I am King James Yiye. The news continues shortly.
Radio is magic. Radio transmits fast and far in seconds. As King Radio takes your business to your customer at the speed of light. We are 98.5 Speed FM. See radio differently at askingradio.com or call 080 99 as King now. That's 080 99 275464.
As King Radio, 98.5 Speed FM. Catch us if you can.
This is Asking Radio News from the Spice Center in Makudi, and I am King James Yiye. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has met with Israeli leaders in a bid to calm regional tensions. Washington has been pressuring its ally to do more to protect victims in Gaza amid concerns over a broader spillover of the conflict. William Dantzler reports.
According to the State Department, Antony Blinken discussed ways of promoting regional integration with Israel's President Isaac Herzog. The two also talked about how to ensure Israel's security while also working towards the establishment of an independent Palestinian state. Blinken has also met with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu as concerns over the humanitarian situation in Gaza grow. United Nations officials warned that the health system in the Palestinian enclave is collapsing at a very rapid pace. This is Blinken's fourth visit to the region since the October 7th Hamas attack on Israel. During this trip, he's also met with leaders from Jordan, Saudi Arabia, the UAE and Qatar.
Former U.S. President Donald Trump has appealed at a trial in Washington, D.C., where his lawyers have been pushing for presidential immunity. His lawyers say he can't be tried in a federal election interference case because his actions while president make him immune. Caroline Malone reports from Washington.
An historic case in unprecedented times. A former US president trying to argue he's immune from prosecution and can't be tried in events related to the January 6th Capitol riot. All this while Donald Trump is campaigning to be leader once again. His lawyers are likely to argue there's already been an impeachment hearing on it in Congress, and while the House found him guilty of inciting an insurrection, the Senate let him off. Whether Trump is found immune or not, the case is likely to go to the Supreme Court, which may mean delaying the planned start of the actual trial from March 4th. Caroline Malone, Washington.
Asking Radio News from the Spice Center, and I'm King James.